Welcome back to Lesson 6, Geometric Vectors, Lesson 2, Adding and Subtracting Vectors. We're going to continue with Example 2. So consider the parallelogram EFGH with the diagonals EG and FH that intersect at the point J. Express each vector as a sum of the other two vectors in two ways, using a triangle method and using the parallelogram method. So I'm going to do 3 examples this way. I'm going to do the differences. I'm going to show you that quickly. So the first one is I want to show vector HF. So vector HF would be from H to F, and then I'd have the arrow at the end there. So that would be my vector HF. So I want to express it as a sum of two vectors. So if I want HF, I can go HE. So this is equal to vector HE plus vector EF. Again, I want to express this vector in terms of two other vectors, so instead of going this way, I can go HE, vector HE, plus vector EF. Now, using the parallelogram method, I can do HF is equal to, and what I can do is just take the two sides. So I can do, because this is a parallelogram, so I can do HE plus this side here, HG. Again, the reason why I can do this plus this, so this vector plus this vector, is because it is a parallelogram. The nice thing with the triangle method is it doesn't have to be a parallelogram to do the triangle method. Notice again with the triangle method too, I like this a lot. Notice how the tip here and the tail here are the same. That always will work out like that. And so you can see that the outer letters here, the H and the F, is actually equal to the vector that I have there. We're going to see that quite a bit. FH. So the next one I want to do is FH. So actually going the opposite way. I want that vector there. To do FH, I could do FE plus EH. My apologies. Tried to write that H first, where the E had to go first. So again, notice how again, the inside letters are the same and the outside letters are actually equal to that vector I just wrote, which is really nice. If I want to do FH here, parallelogram method, again, because it's a parallelogram, I can do FE plus FG. There we go. The last one here is this, is GJ. So I start at G and go to J, so I want to write this as a sum of two vectors using the triangle method. So to do the triangle method here, I could go GF plus FJ, GF plus FJ. Again, instead of going directly, I can kind of go around, so GF plus FJ. Now this is a bit more tricky here for GJ, because if I added these two, then I'd actually get to GE. So that's too far. But we're going to get this more in the next lesson, lesson 3. However, I could still do GH plus GF. However, that's going to get me double. Because it's parallelogram, they intersect here, which means that this magnitude is the same as this magnitude. So the magnitude of GJ is the same as the magnitude of JE. So what I can do, and again, this is getting into scalars, I can multiply this whole thing by half. Why? Because I only want half that magnitude. Instead of that whole magnitude there, the GE, which is equal to GH plus GF, multiply by half, so I only get there. And so I really know that GJ is equal to 1/2 GH plus 1/2 GF. So that's a bit of a tricky one. But again, because I know this magnitude is half of this magnitude, I can just multiply this by half. All right, the second one. Now this is going to be really easy if you see what's follow along. It says HF. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to borrow from this, but it says write it as a difference. So I'm going to rewrite my HF as HE. So use the same thing, but I'm going to make this the opposite vector. How do I make that the opposite vector? I'm going to switch the tip and tail. So plus. So switch the tip and tail. So instead of EF, it's going to be FE. Now there's something wrong here, Mr. Wills. You really need to make this vector equal to EF. So I'm going to put a little negative sign in front. And so there, so that's really equal to HE. I want to make this a difference, minus FE. And there we go. And again, what I did here, I switched the order of this. So I switched the E and F, and then put a negative sign in front, and so I've got my difference. I can do the same thing with FH, so I can do FE, and then minus, it was EH, so minus HE. So I'm switching the order and switching the sign in front, and you can always do that. Nice thing with vectors. So here, GF minus, switch the order, J, my apologies, JF. All right, and I can do the exact same thing with these guys. So here, HF is equal to, and I'm going to go back here, so it's going to be HE minus, switch the order, GH. Same thing here, FH is equal to FE minus, switch order here, GF. And then finally here, GJ is equal to 1/2 GH minus, switch the order here, 1/2 FG. So to make it a difference again, switch the order of letters, so the tip becomes the tail and vice versa, and then switch the sign here, as I did down here. So there, I don't have to show you anything in the diagram. You can just follow those rules.